Hey guys, it's been a long time. We are here today to talk about the scoring system, which is going to happen in BB5. And BB5, in 2 weeks from today, we will actually be here playing. I mean, this place is going to be jumping, man. It's going to be jumping. Bar is going to be full of crap, and it's going to be a good time. So, first, it's been a long time, and we're going to need a drink. We even have new BBR cups to go with the new BBR bar. Nice real quick. Let me see, what can we make? Just something super quick, just because we're gonna get the show on the road. Let me get a soda. Let's do a soda and let's do some Devil's Cut. Devil's Cut Jim Beam's whiskey. There's the bourbon. Is it the same thing? Oh, bourbon whiskey. All right. Just a bit of dab in there. All right. All right, sweet, perfect. So, I've been looking into the scoring system for a while, on and off. People have had concerns about this and that, and whether I agree with them or don't agree with them, that's irrelevant. But the point is, I have been looking it over. And there are a couple changes, nothing crazy, nothing that's going to be whack, but some changes. And also, something I'm going to try this year, actually not try, is what we're going to do, and I would like to continue to do it. It's just a matter of if we do it this year, the way that we'll continue to do it. But day 3, we'll have 6 teams now playing. 6 teams playing for 3 placements. Okay, before you had 4 teams playing for 3 placements. Now you're going to have 6. And we'll get to that part in a minute, because first let's get to how are we going to score you. Now, how it has been and how it will remain. Axis must obtain 12 victory points by the end of round 8 for a typical win. You can still get an auto win by taking DC early, and allies can win still early by taking Berlin or Japan early. Remember, if you take one of those 3 territories as either side, Axis take DC and allies take Japan or Berlin. If you take it and you hold it for 1 round, so say Japan, for example, US takes it on US 6. If on US 7, if the allies still control that, then the game would end. Okay, and that would be an auto win. That's what we call a shutout. Okay, so let's get back to the points. So, Axis still is 12 victory points. I opted and tried to make it 13 victory points for Axis to win, but man, I was shut down. Aside from Gargantua, Joel, he was the only one who had my back to say 13 victory points, but everyone else liked the 12. So we did a little bit tweaking on the victory points, which I'm not going to go over now because it has nothing to do with it. It's just the scoring system on this video. So, how Axis are scored is your victory points. Okay. Now this is Axis winning. Let me step back. We're going to start with Axis winning points. Axis, if you win as Axis, you are scored by how many victory points you have obtained. You're going to have a minimum of 12, otherwise you didn't win. So you're going to have a minimum of 12. Then you're going to deduct any original territory that you lost. And that is an original territory, whether it was Italy, whether it was Germany, or whether it was Japan. This does not count any pro-Axis territories that you activated during the game. Originally controlled. So when you start the game, those territories that you control, whether there's pieces there or not, it's just, if it has your national marker on there of one of those 3 countries, and you lose any of those territories, that is deducted from your overall score. And that's a part that some of the people don't like, because if you suck really bad, you're going to be going into the negative. But the point is, without a way to grade how well you won, there is no way, like we have never had a tie, and nor will we probably ever have a tie. And if we do, it's not going to matter the way this is now going to be set up. It's not, ties don't even matter unless there's like 4 people that tie, which is we've never had one team tie, okay? So we don't need a tiebreaker. We don't need a tiebreaker. We don't need a tiebreaker, okay? It's fine. Everything is great. So, but without those negative scores, you were probably going to be more likely to run into a tie. And then you're going to have 2 teams. Well, which team goes ahead? Well, it was a tie. Well, it's not fair. You know what I mean? How are you going to determine a tie? You're going to roll a dice? You know what I mean? And it's like, sorry, dude, you're out because you didn't roll a 6. I mean, it's can't have ties. So no more ties. You have to be, for my opinion, we are going to keep the negative scoring. If it comes to that, just don't suck so bad and you won't be negative. Now, so back to that. Your victory points, we'll just say you got 12, okay? And then your original territories, we say you lost 3. We'll just say you lost Caroline Islands and you lost, I don't know, Holland, and maybe you lost, I don't know, Italy one, Italian Somaliland, okay? So now you're down to 9. Now, the thing that changes for this year is the win bonus. It used to be 10. Being 10, I think, was the problem with the scoring system, because what that allowed was you can have 2 wins. Like you can have 2 wins but sucked really bad and get outscored by somebody who had a win and a loss. And so by putting it at, we're going to bump it to 20, by making you up 20 points if you win, that's going to take care of all those problems. Because if you win 2 games without any scoring whatsoever, you're going to have 40 points because you won twice. There is no way somebody that lost one day is going to outscore you, because you already have an automatic 40. Forget anything else that happened. You have 40, okay? Or potential 40. So, but I'm just saying, no one else, I mean, there's no way, I mean, I ran calcs and calcs and calcs and calcs. It's pretty much going to be impossible for anybody to outscore a double winning team, okay? So with that, let me go back and just, because I kind of got off track a little bit. Axis win by victory points minus original territories plus bonus, okay? Allies win by taking original territories and then bonus. Now, some people think they're not even. Well, they are pretty even, because there was more points to get as Axis, okay? Because you're going up for VPs, but you're deducting those, okay? So let's say, for example, you had, as Axis, you had 12 victory points, okay? And to say you lost, I don't know, let's say you lost 5, okay? Now you have 7 victory points, plus your bonus is 27, okay? Allied, if they had the 5 points, they don't lose anything. So they're going to have 5 plus a 20. They're going to have 25. It's pretty close. And obviously, the more Allies take, the bigger the score is, and more Axis lose, the lower their score is. It's pretty close. It's close enough that I'm not going to mess with it, because you have to play one each day anyways. Now, so that's how the 2 teams are scored, okay? Now, when you lose, for example, Axis have their loss. Okay, you're still going to count your victory points even though you lost. So say you had 7 victory points, and the Allies still had 5 of your territories. Now you're down to 2 points, and this is where the negative comes in. If Allies say they have 12 of your territories and you only had 3 victory points left, which is basically Berlin, Rome, and Tokyo, yeah, you're going to go into the negative, okay? Can't help you there. You know, that's why I'm saying, you know, if you suck really bad, you're going to be going into the negative. But you can always recoup that when you play the Allies the next day. So It's just a score, man. It doesn't mean negative. It's not negative. It's not negative. Negative is just a score. I mean, we can say we start everybody at 100 points, and then you get knocked down. You would never be in a negative, but that's too much. Oh, that's too much thinking. To start, everybody starts from 0. Okay, so now you got the scoring. Now you know exactly how that works. Okay, victory points minus original territories equals score. That's axis. Allies, just original territories. Gobble them up, man. Gobble them up. Even if you know you're losing that game as either side, okay? If you know you're going to lose as Axis, dude, you got to hang on as many VPs as possible because they're all going to, your score is going to go down, okay? And as allies, if you're going to lose, well, great, you're going to lose, but jump on as many original territories as you can because you want to make your opponent, even though they're going to win, you want them to win with a sucky score because you might be able to outscore them the next day, you know. So just remember that, you know, don't give up because you're losing. Make them suck at winning and make you be awesome at losing, okay? Now let's get into a shutout. A shutout is, like I talked about at the beginning of the video, where if the game was in early because you won the game by basically holding those capitals for one round. Now, it's only happened, I think, once or twice. I think once a game ended on round 5, and once a game rounded on I can't even talk. Once a game ended on 5, I think. I'm positive a game ended on 6. And that wasn't the medal round. That was like on day 2 or whatever. So if you shut a game out on 5, which is very unlikely, the only way this is humanly possible is probably if US took Japan on turn 4. And Japan could not get it back for some reason or the other on turn 5, and then come US 5, the game would be considered complete. If a game is shut out on 5, the winning team will get a bonus of 15. Now, the bonus has always been 10, but we're changing it now. We're changing it. If it's on round 5, you will get a bonus of 15. If it's on round 6, you'll get a bonus of 12. If it's on round 7, you'll get a bonus of 10. And if it's on round 8, you'll get a bonus of 5. Now, how does the game end on round 8? Well, we'll just say Berlin was taken on round 7. You know, Japan was taken on round 7. Which means the game would be ending, let's say, on Russia 8, or the game would be ending on US 8. Either way, the game is ending before everyone else gets to go. That will be a bonus of 5. Now, with that said, it is up to that winning team, for that potential winning team. Like right now, we just shut the game down, we won. But we're thinking to ourselves, I think that bonus of 10 kind of sucks. I think we can probably get 12 to 15 points if we keep playing. It is your decision as that winning team to negate that auto win. You do not have to accept the points that I said you have. You can say, you know what, we'll keep on playing. But now that you did that, if the other team wins, they win. I mean, once you negate that win, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna keep playing. You cannot go back later and say, oh, well, we won. No, because once you choose to negate that win, 2 turns later, 3 turns later, just 1 player later, you cannot go back and change your mind. Okay? If you say your allies and you did that, you gave up. I don't think, you know, we're on Japan. It's 7. It's US 7. We still have basically all 7 and all 8 to play. I think we can get more points. But maybe you do. But if Axis still have 12 points at the end of round 8, you will lose the game. Okay, so you have to make that decision when your turn comes around, and that auto win can technically come into effect. So you decide to, you have to make that decision to keep playing or to win. Now, granted, if it was medal round, you're not going to keep playing because it's over. But you might need the points to make sure you go into medal round. Okay, so now, that part, they said, is different. Now, let's get to day 3. How does day 3 work? We're going to have 6 teams playing, and that is going to be the 6th 6 highest scores. Okay, we have the 6 highest ranking scores will be going into the medal round, okay? And what's going to happen is there's going to be 3 tables. There's going to be a gold table, there's going to be a silver table, and there's going to be a bronze table. The highest winning score going down in sequence is going to be, so team 1, the highest scores, will pick what table do they wish to play at. Do they want to sit at the gold table? Do they want to sit at the silver table? Do they want to sit at the bronze table? They will pick their spot and go sit down. The next team will pick their spot. They're going to take a look over at the gold team and wonder to themselves if they can take them out or not. And if they think they can, they're going to go sit at the gold, or if they're afraid of them, they're going to go sit at silver, or whatever, and vice versa. It's going to go all the way down the list until all the tables are filled. Okay. Now, people are like, well, why don't the 2 biggest teams go head to head? Well, that's their choice. Okay. And I say that because you can look back. It's not always the best teams come out with the highest scores. Okay. It's just like, it's the luck of the draw when you play. It's like sometimes you can crush somebody. Sometimes on day 1 you are so evenly matched, it's hard to squeeze in an extra point because you are up against somebody who really knows the BBR and knows what they're doing. So this will help that, I believe, because what's going to happen is the top person is probably going to want to sit at the gold table. Okay. The second team now is going to debate. Now, typically, what they would have done was be matched together, and one would get gold and one would get silver. That's no longer the case anymore. Okay, these 3 tables, gold, silver, and bronze, play for that medal. Whoever loses at each table gets nothing. These are just like play to the death. This is all for winner takes all. There is no room for second place. Okay, so before, like I said, if you lost at silver, if you lost at the gold table, you still got silver, but the bronze table winner would have got bronze, but that bronze player might have had 3 wins versus the silver player only had 2 wins and now 1 loss. Well, that person shouldn't necessarily got silver because they actually had a loss versus somebody who didn't have a loss. Okay, somebody who had 3 straight wins, but how it was set up, we couldn't do that. It was just the way it was. And now, let's say, for example, top player goes to gold table. Second team decides they want to go to silver table, and they both win. Well, that ends up being the same scenario as before. So if they were matched up before the old system, the top team got gold, the second one got silver. But now they have to win. Silver has to win now. There is no more automatic win for silver. So when you come in and you're the second tier, you're going to have to choose. Are you good enough for gold? Or are you going to settle for silver? Okay, now you're still not guaranteed that silver. You still got to win. But you have the choice to pick what you think your equivalency is good at. And what that's going to do is also open up a door for somebody who might have scored really low but might be a really good team, and they might have a chance for gold. Okay, so we're going to go down the pecking order until all 3 tables are filled. Okay, and then it is random. It's going to be a random draw who plays what side. You will not know what team or what side you are playing until the tables are filled. So you won't be able to sit there as team 2 and be like, okay, so they're allies, I can go over there as Axis or whatever. You're not going to, no one knows until it's all filled. And that is going to be some suspense, I tell you. That's going to be crazy. You're going to be sitting over there on the lineup, be like, man, oh man, this is tough. Please don't go to table 3. I want table 3. I think I can tear it up. It's just going to be stressful, man. The suspense is killing me already, because 2 weeks from now, the suspense is already going to be happening, because who is going to be scoring today for tomorrow and then the next day? Man, oh man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So I think that's it in a nutshell, man. I put a lot of thought into any changes that were going into this point system. Like I said, I've looked at other point systems, but they had tiebreaker scenarios. I don't want anything that has to do with a tiebreaker. The only way we're going to need a tiebreaker is if there is too many teams on day 3, because we'll just say 2 teams had the same score at the very, very, very bottom, okay? And if that happens, I mean, hell, I could even open another table and we have 8 people playing, and we have, like, we throw in, like, what do you call it? Plastic metal. Okay, we have gold, silver, bronze, and plastic. Okay, we can always do something like that at the bitter end. Just make that judgment call on that day. Okay, and then so, like I said, I'm not worried about that happening. But like I said, if it does, easy solution. You know, I'm not even worried about it. And it would take 3 teams to tie before it really screwed anything up. And we've never had once a tying score in the past 4 years of this event, of hosting it here. I don't know what happened at Rob's place. He did some things differently on pairing than I do. Pairing has always been and always will be, well, at least it's gonna be this year again, is the top winning Axis score on day 1 will play the top winning Axis, or top winning Allied score on day 2. Okay, there's no, it'd be random draw on day 1. Day 2 is always paired by points. Okay, that's how it's always been. That's how it's seemed to work out. I always feel the right teams get into the playoffs, even though I'm not there half the time. I don't think I'm a great player. I might be great at rules, but I'm not great at playing. So, I never felt gypped that I didn't make it. I feel like those guys are better. So, I think it works. So, no reason to change it. Like I said, I tried, man. I looked different ways, but I think the main issue with the system was the 10 per winning. I did calcs with 15 per winning, and I just 20. The calcs with 20 per win pretty much made it so a person that won one and lost one will no way outscore a person who won 2-0. So. And that's pretty much going to guarantee that, unless there was a lot of people that did bad as far as their 1-in-1 ratio, anyone who makes it to day 3 is probably going to have a 2-0 score. So, and that's the kind of way it should be. So, I think we're good. So, if you have any questions, you can put it on the comment of the video. I will be updating the website pretty soon. When I say pretty soon, like this weekend, I got to get all this crap on there. And just real quick, I do need an admin for the website. That's why the website is kind of disarray and lacking admin, because I'm not there. Well, I can't be there. It's too difficult right now for me to get on every day and do this and do that. And now that I haven't been on there for so long, there's way too much to do as far as accounts and whatnot. But I will get on there and update as far as the rules, the 5.2. I think I have everything on there. I think the victory points have been on there. The cards, the book, the map has been updated. Everything's been updated, I'm pretty sure. It's just I never posted about the event. Now, if you would still like to attend the event, we are solid full. However, we have a lot of 3-player teams, and there is one team that wouldn't mind another player. So it's in 2 weeks from now. If you're around the neighborhood, or if you feel like you've got the time to travel over here and play in 2 weeks, team up with this other team. They're really good guys, so you'd have a good time. All right. Well, man, it's crazy. All right. Well, cheers, man. And I think I talked so much I didn't even get to drink my drink. Hopefully I didn't forget anything, but I think we are good. So see you later.